All right, everyone. Welcome back to All Wings Everything, and I am your cook, Spinelli. Now, today's video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do pickled peppered wings. Now, if you can say pickled peppered wings 5 times real fast, guess what? I'll come to your house and make this delicious recipe for you if you're in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. See, watch. Let me try. Pickle pepper wing, pickle pepper. I can't even do it. I can't do it. But if you guys can do it, I'll come to your house personally if you're in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area and make these wings for you. Now, I know this recipe sounds kind of weird, but I'm telling you, the wings are amazing. Only thing I need for you guys to do is just stick with me through this recipe, and I'm gonna show you how this finished product gonna taste. So what I need for you guys to do right now is go ahead and get to your kitchen. I'm in mine. So you ready? Let's go. All right, so these are the ingredients that we're going to use today for this recipe. And we have our Publix green wise chicken. We have a jar of pickles, but we're only going to use the pickle juice. So in this recipe, we have black pepper, we have some onion powder, we have some red pepper, some oregano, chili powder, and kosher salt. So not that many ingredients today, but man, watch how it turns out. So I'll see you guys in the next step. All right, so I've already measured out our ingredients and cut and cleaned our chicken for this recipe. So what we have here, we have 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. We have 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and we have the juice of from the pickles. This is about 2 cups of pickle juice. So these are the ingredients we're going to use. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is prepare our rub. So take our cayenne pepper and place it in an empty dish. Take your oregano and add it. Next, grab your chili powder, add it, your black pepper, your onion powder, and lastly, your kosher salt. And then what you want to do is you want to give that a good mix to combine. And once you do that, we'll move on. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to marinate our chicken in the pickle juice. So take that 2 cups of pickle juice and pour it over your chicken. Try to make sure that you get all the chicken pieces covered in this juice. You want it to soak in the pickle juice. And once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to cover it and you're going to let it marinate. You can let it marinate for about an hour up to 24 hours. All right. So once you do that, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to line our pan and spray it with cooking spray. So make sure you line your pan for easy cleanup. You want to line your pan with aluminum foil and spray your grates. That makes it easier for you to remove the chicken. So I already lined my pan and sprayed my grates. So I'm ready to move on. All right, so now that we've marinated our chicken, so what we want to do now is we want to remove our chicken from the marinade, the pickle juice marinade. And what you want to do is you want to add it to a pan lined with paper towels, because you want to make sure you dry this these wings off real well. You don't want to put them in the oven as they are right now. So what you want to do is just remove them, add them to a pan lined with paper towels, and dry them completely. Don't rinse them, but dry them. So once you do that, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add those dried pieces of chicken into an empty bowl. So go ahead and remove your chicken pieces from the pan. line with paper towels and add them to your empty bowl. Once you do that, we're going to proceed with the next step of getting these bad boys seasoned. All right, now that we've dried our wings and added them to the bowl, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. You can use olive oil, but I use coconut oil. And I'm just gonna pour the coconut oil over the chicken. And once I do that, I'm gonna give it a quick mix. Like I say, you can use olive oil or you can use regular vegetable oil, but I chose coconut oil. And once you do that, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so what we're gonna do now is time for us to get these chicken pieces seasoned. So what you wanna do is you wanna take about a tablespoon of your dry rub, sprinkle it over the chicken. Again, you don't have to use all of it. It's up to you, whatever your preference is. You know how I am. I like my chicken seasoned. So I'm gonna use a little bit more than probably the average person. So go ahead and sprinkle that over your chicken. I start with a tablespoon, like I said. Once you do that, give it a good mix. And me, I kind of eyeball my pieces just to see if they're seasoned well. Looks like I'm gonna use a little bit more seasoning for myself. And I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more. That's that good dry rub seasoning on the top of this chicken. Make sure I get the full effects of this recipe. Give it another mix. Take a look at it. And now we're moving on. All right, so now it's time to place your pieces onto your pan. So we're going to place our chicken pieces onto the pan. Again, I do it skin side down, about a half an inch to an inch apart, depending on the pieces of chicken. How many pieces of chicken I have. Don't overcrowd your pan. You want to allow your chicken to cook freely. So go ahead and add your chicken pieces to your pan. And once you do that, we're going to move on to our next step. All right, so now we're going to place these chicken pieces into our oven. I've already preheated the oven to 425 degrees. And we're gonna set the timer to these pieces of chicken for about an hour. After the 30 minutes, we're gonna turn it over and allow the chicken pieces to cook on the other side. All right, so now we're halfway through the cooking process. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to turn our chicken pieces over to allow them to cook on the other side. I highly recommend you guys to get a pan that has a rack. It's better for cooking, baking your chicken. It makes sure that it ensures rather that your chicken is cooked evenly on both sides. Generally, if you just put it inside a deep dish pan and cook it, one side is going to be crisp and the other side is going to be pretty soft. So I really highly recommend you guys invest into a pan with a rack such as this one. I do have a link in my video description below where you can get you one. So go ahead and turn your piece of chicken over, and after you do that, we'll move on to the next step. All right, so now the chicken is done, and we're going to remove it from the oven. And let's get it over here to the counter and take a look at it. And this is what I'm talking about. You see that color, folks? This is how I like my chicken. People may think that it's a little bit crispy. Some may say it's burnt, but man, to me, this is perfect. I love it when it looks like this because you know it's crispy, you know it's cooked thoroughly, and it's still juicy. All right, so let's move on. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to remove our chicken from the pan, add it to an empty bowl. With this particular recipe, there is no sauce involved. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna eat these bad babies just like this. And trust me, they're gonna be just as good. So go ahead and remove all your chicken pieces, put them to a clean plate, and we'll move on. And voila, vamoose. Look at that. Pickled peppered wings. Holy moly. What do you guys think about that? Don't they look amazing? Wow. As I mentioned before, look at the color. Look at the crispiness. These things look great. You guys need to let me know what you think about this recipe. Let me know what you think about this. And if you have been following me and cooking as we went along, you should be already eating on these wings. Leave a comment below. Let me know how your wings turned out. All right, so now it's time for me, as usual, to do a little quality control. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get me one of these wings and I'm gonna test it out just to make sure, because I'm not really sure that it's safe for you guys to eat. So I'm gonna make sure that it's safe for you. So let me take one. Guys, this is excellent. And you could taste the pickle flavor, and it's real mild, but it's great. Man, these things are really great. They're juicy. I can't wait for you guys to try them. You have to try them ASAP. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish these bad babies off, because these are some good groceries, y'all. These are some good groceries. So I'm gonna finish these things off and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. All right, everyone. I know you enjoyed that video. I know the wings came out amazing. You didn't expect them to come out the way they did, but I told you in the beginning, don't let that name Pickle-Pepper Wings fool you. Those things were crispy and juicy. And if you follow me in this recipe, you guys ought to be sitting down at your table eating a plate of those wings right now. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you have some friends that you think may enjoy this video, go ahead and share it with them. And don't forget to leave a comment below. And if you need the recipe, it's in the video description below. And also, tick that bell icon. That way you can be alerted every time I drop one of these videos. And until then, I'm your cook, Spinelli. This is All Wings Everything, and I'm out. Peace. Everybody stand up. Introducing the one and only, the most anticipated and highly underrated